What does the stay granted by the Supreme Court mean for the sale of Chrysler? Let's ask attorney Robert Zarco, who has represented auto dealers in franchise disputes and corporate matters. We'll get to the dealer issue a little bit later, but Robert, first, again, people are guessing what the Supreme Court does, but if you're a Chrysler, what do you do right now in anticipation that the Supreme Court could hear this?
Well, the reality is that any Chrysler dealer at this point needs to make sure that they are represented individually as opposed to as an entire group in a way that their interests could be best protected. For instance, if they are among the group of people that are part of the 789 dealers that are being rejected, perhaps the criteria used to reject those dealerships may not necessarily apply to the particular dealer. However, if the dealer is going to be terminated, the best thing for the dealers to do is to try to get rid of as many of the cars as they can in inventory, or get rid of the parts that they have, because unlike Motor Vehicle Dealership Protection Acts, which require manufacturers to purchase back these inventories and signs and special tools and parts, once there's a rejection of the franchise agreement in the bankruptcy court, the franchisee is not able to do that. So what he needs to do is to try to see if he can talk to other neighboring dealers that in fact are going to remain within the system to see if they can go ahead and absorb some of these vehicle allocations that were previously given to the terminated dealer.
It's Adam Shapiro here. I'm sitting with Dagan. I had a quick question for you. What happens if the Supreme Court decides today, if we hear from the court, we're going to hear the argument to stop the deal with Chrysler and Fiat? Does that offer any hope to the dealerships, or that's a totally separate track and they have to appeal on their own track up to the Supreme Court if they lose today in bankruptcy court?
I am not convinced that stopping the Fiat deal is going to be any better for the 789 dealers that are being terminated. And the reality is that Fiat's deal does not include a future for the 789 dealers that are being terminated. They're on their own track. And the reality is, whatever monies Fiat is going to pay to old Chrysler for all these assets are monies that the terminated dealers can then go and pursue through rejection damages that they're permitted to pursue as part of the bankruptcy. So having a pot of money there that will be obtained from the Fiat sale, I think, is actually going to be better for the terminated dealers. I don't think there's any real connection between the two. And frankly, I do not believe that if the Fiat deal is delayed, is going to in any way move the federal bankruptcy judge to stop the termination of these dealers. The bankruptcy judge has to rely on what is best for the Chrysler bankruptcy estate.
Robert, thank you for being here. Robert Zarco, attorney representing dealers, a franchise attorney down in Florida. Thank you so much.